Good afternoon, evening. I'm losing sight of track of time. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Good to be on with you. And really hope everything is going well with all of you. Do me a favor, as always. Type in the chat area your city, state that you're tuned in from, or country if you're not from America, and then share the video. Would you do that? Different night, different time. It's the holidays for some of you. And but I did not want the week to go by without doing a live, and it's gonna be a good live. It might be the live of 26. It's gonna be good. So get your journal. If you're cooking, don't try to cook and mess up the mac and cheese while you're taking notes, because everybody ain't gonna be mad at you over me. I ain't got nothing to do with that. If you can't multitask, then just fix your greens and and just listen in. Where you tuning in from? Greensboro, Tucson, thank you. Toronto, Brooklyn, appreciate you. Snellville, Georgia, Newcastle, Delaware, Los Angeles, all right? Kansas. It's been a while? Well, good. Welcome back. Baltimore, Brooklyn, Columbia, South Carolina, Memphis, Tennessee. I've been great, Shars. Thank you so much for asking how I'm doing. It means a lot to me. Maryland, Davenport, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Kansas. All right. Miami, Florida. Miami's a great place to be in for Thanksgiving. Good for you. Um, Toronto, Canada, where I've got to go visit real soon. Definitely hoping to put Canada maybe on the tour list for 26. Texas, Kinston. Hey, thank you, Erica. I appreciate you, and no worries. I'm glad to do this live tonight. All I do is work. I don't have a life. Well, I have a life, but you get my point. Trinidad and Tobago. Hope you guys are well, Shars. Thank you so much for your support. Trinidad always shows me love. Doc, what you got simmering in those pots? Nothing. I don't have the kids with me. They're with their mom for Thanksgiving. So I did not have to cook this year. And somebody said today, why didn't you cook anyway? For what? No. I cook for my kids 3 times a week, on top of working 90 hours, on top of managing their very busy schedules, on top of managing my schedule. No, Doc not cooking nothing. Doc went to Dave's Hot Chicken today. And Doc is going to eat with his folks tomorrow. Can't wait to see my parents and spend time with my family, extended family, and immediate family. So Doc ain't cooking nothing today. Doc cooks 2 to 3 times a week, every week for my kids. It's a commitment that I made to them. And yeah, I'm going to hold that commitment up regardless of how busy I am getting. All right, y'all, did y'all like the video? Share the video. I recognize our numbers might be low tonight. I don't care. This might not be a live that I leave up. I'm just going to tell you now. So if you want to support the show, great. This may just be a subscriber live only, and it sucks because this is going to be a really good, thorough live for sure. But I wanted to teach this because really, many of you, let me just say this. Let me just go ahead and welcome everybody to the live because I got to get right into this. I'm going to stop at 9:30. I'm going to stop at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the nose, if not sooner. Hopefully, I'll finish this and get through it tonight. But let me say this. I would highly recommend you subscribe. I learned a very hard lesson this week. Well, I didn't learn a lesson. I was reminded of a very hard thing. Where's my Sharpie? I know I brought my Sharpie in here. I was reminded of a very hard thing that I knew, and that is, y'all, when the holidays get here, people really flip out. Let me put my other mic on because it sounds like I got a lisp. I don't know if one of my speech, but my speech pathologist is on the line. But I don't know what it is about the holidays. Many of you really put the holidays on a pedestal, and you really amplify the holidays in a way that really is not only not healthy, it's just not reasonable. It's not reasonable. And so the holidays come, and many of you, because it's the holidays, what do? You start freaking out because you got to deal with all your family tomorrow, this week, this weekend. You start freaking out. And not only do you start freaking out, because of that and all the challenges you have with your family, you also then turn around and forget all the tools you've learned, especially with me. You forget all the tools you've learned the entire year. And let me tell y'all something. I told a friend today, I earned every dime I made this week. This week, this week was incredibly hectic. And I earned y'all, I'm getting my mic together. I don't know if my speech pathologist is on the line. I know it sounds like I got a lisp. She swears I don't, but I'm pretty sure I do. And happy birthday to you, speech pathologist. Um, I But I don't understand for the life of me why we get around the holidays. We get around the holidays and we throw away all the tools that we have that we've used the entire year. And somebody's got to make that make sense to me. All right. Somebody's got to make that make sense to me because it makes zero sense to me whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you, I earned every dime I made this week, every single dime, because I had so many people who were literally going through this and that and not relying on the tools that I knew they had to work through those situations. And so, y'all, I'm saying all of this to say, as an introduction, don't y'all get cute tomorrow. Well, get cute, if you're going to dress up, whatever, but don't get cute tomorrow and forget all the tools you got and not use your tools. Use your tools. Okay. Don't let the nostalgia of the holidays get you to a point where you forget everything that got you this far. Don't y'all do that. Don't do that. Okay? All right? And you're going to be fine. Now, real quick, let me thank all of my subscribers. Y'all, Patreon, the Patreon community is really growing really well. I'm transitioning my IG subscribers to Patreon. Patreon subscriber and subscription community is really growing. Talked about our 50-week syllabus on last night. We've got a 50-week course that we're going to complete next year. It's really intense. It's really heavy. So doing some tremendous things there. So if you haven't subscribed, I would encourage you to do that right away. Reminder, my books open tomorrow. No, Friday for new clients. Now, listen to me, everybody, please. Listen to me, please. I opened up my client books to subscribers Monday. They had 48 hours. That is one of the benefits of being a subscriber. You get early access to my calendar if you're not a client. And within an hour and a half, and this is a small community. And when I say small community, I'm talking right around 200 people. This is a small community of 200 people. Within an hour and a half, most of the slides were gone. So when this is opened up to about 730,000 people over 4 networks, y'all, the slides are not going to last long. Okay. I need you to set your timer for this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. They go really fast. I'm going to upload a flyer. I'm going to have it automated so it goes up on time at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and have at it. I just have one request. Read the instructions. Okay? Don't just be choosing stuff to have something. Because if that has to be corrected, then you block somebody else who could have whatever it is that you want. So y'all don't be in that much of a rush. What's meant to be will be. I am so grateful for the support, so gracious for it. But just read the instructions, please, before you choose anything, because it creates a lot of work on the back end for me and my assistant, Danielle, both of which won't be working Friday. The only work that I will do Friday is occasional troubleshooting, looking at my email to just make sure there are no major fires. But the system's pretty automated. I've asked Danielle not to do any work. She's enjoying her family, so don't y'all worry her. If you got her email address, just follow the instructions, y'all, Friday. Please, ma'am, please, sir. And it's going to go smooth, but I highly recommend that you are logged in by 10:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I see Miss Michonne. Shout out to one of my subscribers. She said it. She tried to get an individual spot. It was gone. They don't last long. All right. So I would love to work with you. I would love to be a part of your journey. Unfortunately, because of the weight on my calendar, I only open up about 2 times a year, typically around May. This is almost to a science now. April, May-ish, and typically November, December-ish is when I open up every year. And so unless something is different, it may be a few more months before we do that again, but just keep that in mind, all right? So that's this Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, the final tour stop for 2025 is Atlanta, December the 15th. I'm sorry, 14th. I'm closing out the 2025 tour in Atlanta, December the 14th. I need you all to get tickets. Now look, I ain't gonna beg y'all, but I am gonna ask you real hard. The tickets are actually going pretty well, but y'all, that's in like 2.5 weeks. All right. And so I need you all to get tickets and make plans to make a weekend trip to Atlanta. This is on a Sunday afternoon. And so this is a great little trip you could do. Fly in Saturday, stop, do the tourist talk Sunday. You could take a Sunday night flight back to wherever you're from if you're not from Atlanta. All right. Now, some of y'all are trying to negotiate. I am Nadia Simone is talking about, oh, Atlanta, I'm only coming if I can get a sec. Y'all not right. Y'all are not right. Nadia Simone, I need you to come anyway. All right. I would love to see you. I want all of you to come and support. That's Atlanta, December the 14th. And I can't wait to see you. All right. Now, we got a problem. The work. I tried to tell y'all to get a copy of the work. Y'all were ignoring me. The first run of the work sold out yesterday. I've been doing some work today with the distributors, and we're pretty certain that the next round of the work can go out for shipping right around the week of December the 22nd. So if you have not ordered a copy of the work, this is a good time to do it. Now, I'm going to have a promo code that's going to launch. I'm probably just going to give it to you tonight. But it will definitely officially be out on my video tomorrow. And so you may want to wait for that, but the work is flying off the shelf. Is it hard? Yes. Is it expensive? Yes. Way more than most journals, without a doubt. 426 pages of goodness, over 900 writing prompts. It's called The Work for a Reason. So I ain't going to even hold you. It is. It's an investment. But I am going to have a promo code for it. I got a feeling this second run of the work is going to probably sell out really fast too. All right. So I'll give you that promo code sometime tonight. It is a journal. It is not a workbook. It is a journal. It is a 51-week journal. And it is a monster. All right. And so it is hard. It has guided prompts. So definitely check it out. Those of you that are looking to start your healing journey, this is a great thing to start with. Also, to that end, if you have not signed up for my 3-day trauma reset, I do about 4 on my website. It's available on my website. Thanks for the question. On TikTok, it's available on my website. I do about 4 or 5 2 to 3 day workshops a year, and by far the most popular workshop that I do is at the beginning of every year. It's typically a 3-day workshop to help you kick off your year, and this year I'm calling it the New Year 3-day Trauma Reset. And this one's powerful because we're going to talk about how to recenter your thoughts and emotions. The big one is going to be talking about resetting your nervous system. I'm really going to take you guys through some practical things that I do with my clients that will help you. And also, I'm talking about recalibrating your attachment style, which if you've been following my work, you know, I'm going to have some major announcements about my work and attachment styles in 26. So a lot going on. If you have not signed up for a slot, do it. Now, I was shocked. I just pre-put this out there and seats are filling. I don't do a lot of seats for this course. Why? Because I don't like I was going in. Can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? No? Can you hear me now? Still no sound? I know TikTok we're good. No sound yet. Y'all can hear me now? Yes, 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 yes. All right. I don't know what happened, y'all. I think my mic may have died. I was going in talking about the free course. Let me say this again really quickly. 199 of you RSVP'd, 173 of you showed up. Quite a retention rate. I was really proud of that and so glad that you guys did and very honored that you did it. I'm saying all of that to say I don't have a lot of seats for the 3-day reset. If you've ever taken that reset, you know that course isn't really big. 40, 50 people is a small size for my courses. I like it that way for this because these 3 days are a lot more intense than that free course. And so if you have not grabbed a seat, this is a great early Christmas gift that you can consider. And those tickets will be are available right now. All right. So make sure you do that. Now, I'll do the promo code later. Where am I? I'll do the promo code later for tomorrow that will be available for the weekend. It'll be available for 48 hours. So I'll do that later on in the live. Let's get right into it. Real quick. If this live is of impact to you, I want you to make sure you type church in the comments with as many R's as possible. If you are around your family and your friends and you're cooking or doing whatever you're doing, maybe they've never heard of my work, feel free to put me on speaker. I ain't scared. Don't you be. Now, I might embarrass you a couple of times because I'm going to talk real wild tonight. Oh my God. Because I want you to have a successful Thanksgiving, and I'm going to make sure you do. So type church in the comments with as many R's as possible if this message tonight resonates with you. Also, keep in mind this is Inspire Nation. You don't have to go back and forth with idiots in the chat area who don't like this content. If you see a crazy comment in the chat area, don't respond to them. Just drop an eagle in the chat area. And if you drop an eagle in the chat area, our awesome moderators on all of our networks will shoot these birds out of the sky. Eagles fly high above birds. All right. So we don't have to go back and forth with people in the comments. Let's try to keep the chat area like this live as professional and helpful as possible. This is a community and everybody is at a different place in their healing journey. So let's be mindful of that. All right. I want you to put in the topic tonight's or in the chat tonight's topic, how being nice left you empty. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how being nice left you empty. And this is going to be a good conversation tonight. And it's going to be a loaded one. And hopefully I'll get through it. If not, I'll just do a part 2 next week. Because I want to make sure that I hit everything on this, but I want to give you all enough to sustain you over the holidays. Because as I said earlier, many of you really, 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 really find yourself freaking out because it's the holidays and you revert back to these habits regarding family members, friends, loved ones that have you up in this cycle that post the holidays, me or another professional in this space has to pull you out of. And I don't want you in that. I don't. Most of us don't realize that when we are in a space where we are trying to be nice to people without being offensive, we are actually creating liabilities. I want you to record this now. You're going to be the smartest person eating turkey tomorrow and all weekend. I want you to put this in the chat. Niceness is a liability when it is not connected to your values and there is no alignment. Niceness is a liability when it is not connected to your values or there is no alignment. I'm telling you, many of you think you are doing yourself this big, great, kind gesture by being nice when all you're creating is liabilities. And I'm going to prove it tonight. I'm going to prove it tonight. Because the reality is, some of you aren't nice. Some of you are just self-abandoning yourself and calling it kindness. Oh my God. You're not as nice as you think you are. You are not as nice as you think you are. Some of you ain't nice. You just self-abandoning. You are abandoning yourself and calling it kindness. And ain't nothing nice about that. And ain't nothing healthy about that. Ain't nothing legitimate about that. Ain't nothing going to last functioning like that. And let me tell you something. If you're on this live tonight and you're nervous about tomorrow or all this time you're going to spend with your family or loved ones, whoever you're going to be around, and you think you're just big, nice person, but you really have no boundaries, people run over you, you struggle with saying no, let me tell you right now, you're not only self-abandoning and you are calling it kindness, this is making you absolutely classic dysfunctional. This is classic dysfunction on display. And I'm telling you, if you laughing tomorrow and ain't nothing funny, if you saying yes when you should be saying no, if you letting the same uncle, aunt, and grandma, and mama, and daddy, and brother, and sister run over you, and you sit there and take it because that's what you've always done, I'm telling you right now, they ain't just a problem, and you ain't kind. You dysfunctional. Oh my God. And I don't care if your grandma in there making sweet potato pie and listening right now. I don't care. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. And this is classic dysfunction. And many of you are doing this in the name of kindness. Oh, I'm so kind. Oh, I'm just a generous person. Some of you even put religion in this. Oh, I'm so kind. I'm just religious. I my Bible tells me to turn the other cheek. It didn't tell you to be no doormat. And I'm not going to give you all the spiritual lesson tonight for the most part. I'm going to hit some things. But even down to this forgiveness thing, your Bible, your Quran, whatever you read, if you never followed my work, you would understand that I have clients now in 48 countries from all religious backgrounds and cultures. I love it. I've been called to heal everybody, not just who you like. But there ain't a Bible or Quran nowhere that has in there forgive and forget. Find it. It might say something about forgiveness, but don't say nothing about forgetting. And let me tell you something. When you forgive and forget, you position yourself to become a doormat. Oh my God. So I want to be very clear tonight that some of this stuff you're calling nice is self-abandonment, and being nice becomes dangerous when it requires you to betray yourself. I told y'all this is going to be a good live. Might not be a lot of y'all on there tonight, but you're going to be glad you tuned in and cut me up. Don't turn me down. I need everybody in your house to hear me. Being nice becomes dangerous when it requires you to betray yourself. And that's all some of y'all doing. And you calling it kindness. I'm so sweet. I'm so nice. I get people the shirt off my back. Blah, 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 blah. But if you're doing all of that in the name of betraying yourself, in the name of not honoring your values, you don't have alignment. We're going to talk about this in a second. I'm here to tell you, you ain't nice. You fake. Oh my God. Because ain't nothing authentic about betraying yourself and then calling yourself nice after you've done it. Ain't nothing nice about that. And if you really walk around thinking you nice, you are delusional at best. Oh my God. Let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever been fake nice, and after you were fake nice, you found yourself Being emptied out faster than life could refill you? Let me ask this question slow. Have you ever found yourself being fake nice, being a yes man, a yes woman, not standing up for your values, not standing up and establishing boundaries, and finding yourself being emptied out much faster than life can turn around and fill? You know why? Because when you deplete yourself by being fake and not being true to your values and living in alignment, it is easier for you to have what is in you leaked out than it is for you to patch up the holes and be filled again. Hold on. Oh, I miss not having my kiddos here because I could just get them to run and get me whatever I need. Watch this. The reason why so many of you feel depleted when you are super nice or fake nice is because every time, I want you to hear this from me. Every time, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, every time you are nice, but you are being fake nice, which means you're not being true to your values and authentic to your values, you are actually wounding yourself. Let me tell you why it's hard for you to do this. See this? Screwdriver. It's about the sharpest thing I could find without my video getting flagged, which I get flagged all the time anyway. See this? Got a point on it? See this cup? I hope I can get a hole in here. Perfect. Every time you are fake, tomorrow minute you're going to be sitting at the Thanksgiving table, kikiing and smiling with family members you can't stand. Oh my God. Instead of addressing real issues. You're going to be hugging with people that you just talked about. Because that's just your aunt. That's just who they are. That's just what they do. Let me tell you something. Watch this. Every time you are fake nice and not being true to your values, you puncture your life. See this cup? Watch this. Puncture your life. Every time you're around them, you fake. You put another hole in you. Every time. Now watch this. Let's say I done been fake for the last 3 years. Yeah, I've been fake for the last 3 years. Because every time I'm around cousin such and such, mama such and such, who mama been this way all her life. Don't nobody say nothing to mama because that's just who mama is. Oh my God. One of the most dysfunctional statements that you can make about your family or people connected to you that perpetuates continual dysfunction. That's just who they are. Baloney. I want to say another word, but then I have to hit this button. Not that one. Where is it? Where's my button? Got it? No, not that one. Where is? Hold on. Oh, y'all gonna hear this? Not that one. Where is it? Where is my button? Well, you know what? I might have taken it off. It might be a sign. Oh, did I take it off? Oh, I may have taken it off. It's the button that I mute when I want to curse. Every time you don't stand for your values and you show up fake nice, you put a hole in you. Now watch this. Take this holy cup that is your life. Take this holy cup that is your life, this holy cup, this cup with holes in it, and why don't you try to fill this up? Huh? Why don't you try to fill this cup up And when you try to fill this cup up, why don't you see how far you get trying to fill this cup up with all of these holes in it? And this is why, y'all, every time we are in a position where niceness becomes a continual wound for us, we end up emptying out faster than we can replenish. This is why this cup is the basic reason why many of y'all gonna feel drained after tomorrow. And here's the gag. This ain't even got as much to do with them as it does you. Oh my God. This ain't got as much to do with them as it does you. Okay? So we got to be very careful with this. Now, a major challenge, this niceness thing, is going to be a major challenge for these people that we call people pleasers and overthinkers. Let's talk about it a little bit. Y'all supporting the show? A few of you have supported. I haven't pressed you much. Might not even leave this live up. Leave it up for supporters. Many of you that are people pleasers and overthinkers, you're going to struggle with being nice over the next couple of days. You know why? Because many of you that are people pleasers and overthinkers, one of your direct challenge is your inability to prioritize yourself, because it creates this false belief that if I prioritize me, I'm going to let them down. And this is the problem that I have with people pleasers and you overthinkers that are going to hush tomorrow, that are going to play fake tomorrow, that are going to be fake nice tomorrow, throughout the entire weekend, because you believe that if you prioritize you, you might ruffle some feathers. You might let other people down. I don't care who it is. Your mama, your partner, your pet. I don't care. See, this is the problem with self-awareness. Can I say this? Because it's a great question. This is the problem with self-awareness. The problem with self-awareness is many of you only want to be honest to the extent to which it makes you comfortable. Oh my God. Most of you don't want to be honest to the extent where your honesty has no limits. If you've been on the tour, I tell the very poignant story. I hope she's not watching. If she is, happy Thanksgiving, Mama. Thank you so much, Trace, for the support. I tell the very poignant story, and I'm only mentioning it now because Atlanta, I will have a different script when I get there for Atlanta to close out. Different script. So if you've been on the tour stops, you will not hear about what I talked about in Atlanta because it's closing out the tour. Different script. But I talk very poignantly about kicking my mom out the choir. As a 21-year-old college graduate and being praised by my father for doing it. You know why? Because it ain't no favorites when it comes to honesty. It ain't no favorites when it comes to self-awareness. And this is why many of you struggle, because many of you put certain people on a pedestal when it comes to honesty. Many of you struggle when it comes to putting certain people on a pedestal when it comes to addressing things that need to be addressed. Oh, you'll address a complete stranger, a coworker, you'll do that. But when it comes to the people that are connected to you, that you claim you love, that you think love you, oh, no. Y'all start bending rules, breaking rules. You act like rules don't even exist. And this is why I tell my clients, if I kick my mom out the choir, I'll tell all of you the truth. I don't care who you are. And I highly recommend you do the same. Oh my God. Now you have to hear the whole story. Me and my mom are great. She's such a sweetheart. She handled it so well. That's just a great leadership lesson. I talked about it on all the tour stops. It was wonderful. But the point is, y'all, we don't play favorites when it comes to self-awareness. And many of you don't have boundaries, good boundaries, because you do play favorites. Meaning if you don't have good boundaries, because you do play favorites. You have certain rules for people that you like and certain rules for people that you don't. Certain people rules for people you're connected to and certain rules for people that you don't. I mean, if you struggle with objectivity, and because you struggle with objectivity, you're going to struggle with conversations about being nice. Because I would venture to say that if you struggle with being objective and you got certain rules for some and not for others, you are more likely than not, fake nice. Oh my God. I can almost guarantee you that if you have certain rules for certain people in your life and other rules for other people, you let certain people get away with certain things and other people you don't, I can almost guarantee you fake nice. That you show up in spaces being fake nice. I can almost guarantee it. So that's the purpose of tonight. You cannot do this. And we got to stop calling it niceness when it's really abandonment. Now, if you're a people pleaser, you'll take this cup, and what will you do? You'll keep on trying to pour stuff in this holy cup. Why? Because you don't want to make people uncomfortable. If you're a people pleaser and you can't pay your bills, you will keep pouring water in this cup to try to pay their bills. Uh-oh. Oh my God. You know, because some of y'all going to be begging for money over the next couple of days. From grown folks that's working, that have poor financial values and principles, and you barely making it. But you're going to break your neck to pour water into your life, and you already got holes in it. Only for you to turn around and not try to hold that water, for you to try to give it away. Oh, it's quiet. Let me give you 3 reasons why people pleasing and overthinking creates false niceness. Record this. Let me give you 3 reasons why people pleasing and overthinking creates false niceness. Three reasons why people pleasing and overthinking creates what I call false niceness. Y'all ready? Reason 1. You internalize a belief that your worth is tied to what you can give. People pleasers and overthinkers internalize a belief that your worth is tied to what you can give. So what do? You overstretch yourself. You overextend yourself. You ignore your own boundaries. You act like you like people you can't stand. You hold your breath on things you should speak up about. Why? Because you believe that your worth is tied into what you can give and pour into others. When I'm here to tell you, if you die tomorrow, the same dysfunctional people that have been dysfunctional in your life ain't going to change their dysfunction because you dead. They'll go choose somebody else to get it from. Oh my God. So I continue to tell y'all, nothing creates clarity better for me in this space when I'm working with clients than using the analogy of death. Because it's funny how people will drain you while you living and you break your neck to try to rescue them because you're a people pleaser and overthinker and you have no boundaries. Thinking that if you don't do it, they won't be helped, but fall out dead tomorrow and see what they do. I guarantee you, they'll figure it out. Oh my God. I promise you, they will figure it out. This is why you're going to know you're healed. Watch this. When you get to a place where you can kindly say, get somebody else to do it. Hey, you want some homework? Let me give you some Thanksgiving homework. If you're a people pleaser and overthinker and you struggle with boundaries, I want you to try this. When you beg for something tomorrow, or you put on the spot for something tomorrow or over the weekend that you normally just let people get away with and you don't stand up for yourself, I want you to try this phrase. Get somebody else to do it. And then record the response. There is nothing more powerful than for a people thinker, people pleaser, and overthinker especially. There's nothing more powerful than the phrase, get somebody else to do it. Because let me tell you something. When I mastered the phrase, get somebody else to do it, my life changed. My niceness felt more sincere. Because ain't nothing like doing something for somebody you really don't want to do. And that's what fake nice people do. You know what fake nice people do? Fake nice people will live their entire life doing stuff for folk they really don't want to do, and they walking around agitated and mad. Why? You ain't got no business being mad at nobody but yourself. When you just master the phrase, get somebody else to do it. there is freedom in the phrase, get somebody else to do it. You don't believe it? Try it tomorrow. Let me give you a second reason why people pleasers and overthinkers create false niceness. I like that question on TikTok. Is no a complete answer when someone asks you for something? Yeah, I think no is both an answer as well as a boundary and expectation. I think where we mess up, my friend, is that we think that when we say no, we have to always have an explanation to come with it. No is a complete sentence. And it's a response. And it's about no is multifunctional. Oh my God. No is one of the shortest and most powerful sentences that exist. Doc, I thought you had to have more than one word for a sentence. Not with the word no, you don't. No is the magical exception. It is the only word that is both a word and a sentence by itself. Because sometimes even your yes needs an explanation. Mama, daddy, can I go to the school dance? Yes. Well, they 12, 13, how they going to get there? You got to explain to them when y'all leaving. If you got somebody that's 16, 17, they're driving. They're going to a high school yeah, you can't just say, yeah, you gotta, when is their curfew? When do they have to be home? All of these things. Yes, might require some explanation. No, done. That's what makes no so powerful. Thank you, Kristen, for your support. I appreciate you. Does this make sense? Here's the second reason why people pleasers and overthinkers create false niceness. You ready? Record this. The reason why it creates false niceness is because you become responsible for refilling everybody else while ignoring your own emptiness. People pleasers and overthinkers will find themselves becoming responsible for refilling everybody else while ignoring their own emptiness. You feel this sense of obligation. You feel this sense of obligation to replenish, to fill everybody else while ignoring your own emptiness. And you think that this filling everybody else and ignoring you is noble. This is noble. It's better to give than to receive. Well, in case y'all don't understand the context of that phrase slash verse, the reality is you can't give nothing if you ain't got nothing. So how are you going to give if you ain't got nothing? Has anybody ever paused to ask themselves, if I believe it's better to give than to receive, how am I going to give if I ain't got nothing? Oh my God. And I'll tell you why you haven't paused. Because most of you are illiterate to the fact that it is really pseudo or fake kindness to try to give from a place, where you have nothing to give. Oh my God. And that kindness is ratcheted up like a city girl. When you keep trying to give and you know you ain't got nothing to give from. And yet we walk around thinking we are responsible for filling everybody else while we're empty at the same time. How the heck? How in the ham sandwich with extra nasty mayonnaise are you going to fill somebody up and you ain't got nothing to fill them up with? While we on the topic, because a lot of y'all going to be shopping Friday, maxing out your credit card, spending money on expensive gifts, material things for people who don't even like you. People ain't going to even honor the gift you gave them anyway. People who still ain't going to act right. Let me help you. You would have a whole lot more money in your pocket if you never had felt like you had to give in order to sustain a connection with anyone. Any connection you have that you have to give in order to sustain it is not a legitimate connection. Oh my God. Thank you so much for your support. If I got to pay you to sustain what we got, something ain't right. God bless them. I was watching the show. Well, the show was actually on while I was cleaning up around here. I was trying to clean up around the house. I had some quiet time to try to do it. And I was trying to clean up and do some things really quick before the live came. And the show was just playing in the background from YouTube on my iPad. And God bless his heart, man caught his woman cheating. She was seeing like 3 other guys. And he was just telling me all the times he paid her rent and he did all of this stuff to try to tell her, prove to her that he loved her, and he was paying all this stuff and all of this stuff. And he was doing all this. And he said, I did this, for you. I did this so that we would be, and all this stuff. And I just said, man, God bless your 25-year-old heart. Because if you got to pay folk to act right, you are eventually a pimp. And they probably a what? Oh my God. Is this thing going? If you have to give gifts to people over the holidays for them to act right and be nice, you're probably a pimp. And they probably a what? Think garden tool. Oh my God. Think 304 flipped upside down. And I hate to break the news to you, but many of you people pleasers and overthinkers are nothing more than modern day pimps. You are modern day pimps because you do things thinking that your doing will sustain. And that's no different than what a pimp does to a 304. Oh my God. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thank you, Doc, for all you do. You've been such a blessing to me. My pleasure. I mean that sincerely. Thank you so much for that compliment, my friend. Thank you so much. That means a lot. I meant what I said. If you're a people pleasing overthinker and you're doing all of this stuff to sustain people, to try to hold people so people won't go off, to try to keep the peace, etc., you ain't nothing but a pimp. And if they respond to that, they ain't number 304s. I want to say the word, but I already get flagged enough. Told y'all this was gonna be a good live. Hey, if you in the kitchen cooking food and your family, that cut me up, turn me up. Oh my God. Here's a third reason why people pleasers and overthinkers create false niceness. You ready? Let me get some water. Y'all, we ain't got but 50 minutes. It's gonna be a quick 90-minute live tonight, and I really want to talk for 3 hours. There's some 304s in this house. There's some 304s in this house. Oh my God. There's some 304s in this house. 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 There's some There's some 304s in this house. There's some 304s in this house. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm so serious. That's how some of y'all sound and look when you're sitting up there trying to justify being nice to get people to act right. Well, let me, I don't want to say, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to ruffle any feathers. I don't want people to be mad at me. I don't want people to take me any kind of way. I don't want, that's your problem. You like being a pimp. So if you continue to let people be dysfunctional and you don't address it, and it's your husband and your wife, or your wife, or your kids, or your grandma, or your coworker, or whoever, and you continue to allow people to function in their dysfunction, and you stay silent, values in the trash, alignment in the trash, and you stay silent in the name of peace, you are nothing more than a pimp. Oh my God. They said pimp won't easy. Yeah, it is. For people please, it is. Hey, I explain it in a way that you get it. It's a gift. That leads me to the third reason. I like that. Somebody put in the comments, and I really like that remark. Love corrects. I could not agree more. This is why I know. This is why I'm giving y'all a pass. Thank you, Camille, for your support. Y'all really supporting tonight. All right, now I might leave it up. I was planning to go and take it down. If more y'all support, I need y'all to support. This is why I don't give people pleasers a pass. I don't. Because this is what I call needless pain. This is what I call avoidable dysfunction. That comedy debut I've been talking to y'all about, I'm serious. I'm seriously thinking about going comedy, doing a comedy thing next year. It's going to be ticketed. No cell phones will be allowed. And y'all might have to sign an NDA. Because it's going to be crazy. It's going to be Doc's therapy session. And I'm going to take that 90 minutes and get some stuff off my chest. Hey, the only camera crew in there is going to be my team from Houston. That's it. Cell phones will be checked at the door. Y'all think I'm playing. I am so serious about this. You know why? Because y'all be making this stuff harder than what it's got to be. And I'm telling you, if you're a people pleaser and overthinker, you are probably a pimp too. Because you do things to try to get people to respond the way you want them to respond. Oh, I'm for real with that NDA. I'm for real. Y'all think I'm not playing. I'm not playing. It's going to be epic. Y'all will never, well, yes, y'all will. Y'all will revere me in a totally different way. I'm serious. I got a lot to get off my chest, and it's going to be limited seats. I'm probably going to open it up to no more than about 200 people. That's it. That might be too much. I might just do 100. I'm dead serious. Third reason why people pleasing and overthinking creates false niceness. You ready? You measure your value by how much you can serve with little regard to how you are served. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my God. You measure your value by how much you can serve with little regard to how you are served. A third reason why people pleasing and overthinking creates false niceness, because you measure your value by how much you can serve with little regard to how you are served. And I know this is where some of the religious folks are going to go ahead and insert their 2 cents and talk about, stuff like better to give than to receive. We already covered that. Talk about the power of service. I believe in that. One of the most underrated ways to heal on your healing journey is to do volunteer work. I talk about this in the 5 areas of healing. You might want to get a copy of that. Friday might be a good day. I'm going to give you guys a promo code at the end of the show. It won't be effective until midnight tonight. But I talk about it in the 5 areas of healing, my patented 5 areas of healing, that one of the best ways that you can really return to your mental and emotional center is by getting out here and serving other people. This is why I like this time of the year. I really miss, the ministry where I was serving. We used to do a lot of outreach in the community, and we did this very well. I was telling a friend of mine, we got creative because we were doing it in our area, and other churches and ministries weren't doing it. They weren't. That's just a noted fact. It ain't no shade. It's just what it was. Right? From giving out food to doing gas giveaways, we were doing all of that stuff. Then we started getting creative because other ministries were getting involved, which is great. And so on the holidays, especially like Thanksgiving and Christmas, we would then prepare food and take them to the hospitals and to nursing homes. Why? Nursing homes didn't have family members to come to visit them. Hospitals have nurses and doctors that have to work while y'all sitting at home eating and running your blood pressure up. Oh my God. They got to be there to receive you when you walk in. So we would get up on Thanksgiving morning, 7, 8, 9 in the morning, and we would go out and deliver food for about 3 hours. Loved it. I believe in the power of serving. Serving is an underrated way to return to your mental, emotional, and spiritual center. But hear this. In the process of all of this serving, some of us need to make sure we are also serving people whose values align with ours and who also create alignment with us. Because guess what? When you serve people who ain't got good values, when you serve people that throw off your mental, emotional, and spiritual alignment, it opens up the door for things like abuse. Oh my God. Manipulation. Oh my God. Narcissism, one of y'all favorite words. Oh my God. Nah, y'all think it's Nova. Doc, I'm just gonna serve. I just been called a third. I've been called a third. I'm a did third. And you're serving people who have no boundaries, who don't honor your boundaries. They have no values, none of this stuff. And I'm not talking about food pantry people. I'm talking about the husbands and wives and cousins you serving. Oh my God. And you call it stuff like you're calling. You weren't called to that. You weren't called to be abused. FYI. You weren't called to be abused. You weren't called to be manipulated. And for all of you people that want to put your religion in it, especially you Christians, us who like to really get real deep sometimes with it, let me help you. This is one of the very reasons why Jesus kicked over tables. You know why? Because he had to make sure that he did not allow people to take advantage of other people. And you mean to tell me that being a people pleaser and overthinker, and you measuring your value by how much you can serve, or how much you are serving people who don't honor your values or throw off your alignment, you think that's honorable? I'm telling you right now, it ain't. And your Bible and your Quran doesn't tell you otherwise. Hmm. Let's talk about how being overly nice creates self-abandonment. Is this making sense, y'all? Are y'all with me? Told y'all this is going to be a solid live. I know we're missing a lot of people tonight. That's fine. Is this making sense? Does this help? Do me a favor. If it is, of course, support the show, but hit the share button. If you're on YouTube, hit the share button. If you're on Instagram, hit the kite. TikTok, hit that share button. Y'all do that for me, all right? Let's get some more people on here while they're cooking and doing whatever they're doing. And this is a different time for me as well. Let's talk about how being overly nice creates self-abandonment then, because I said that earlier. And I want some of you to start seeing being overly nice as self-abandonment, not as this noble thing. What does overly nice look like? Well, overly nice looks like being nice without mindfulness of your values and alignment. It's that simple. You're going to know, Doc, how do I know? Some of you should be asking this. Doc, some of you should be asking this. Doc, how do I know I'm being overly nice? Doc, how do I know I'm being overly nice? I'll tell you how. You are being overly nice when your niceness, and I put that in air quotes, when your niceness has no regard for your values and alignment. What's alignment? If you're new here, you might not know this definition. If you tune into me weekly, you know the definition of alignment. It is when what we say, what we do, and what we believe all agree. Alignment is when what we say, what we do, and what we believe all agree. So I can measure that I'm being overly nice if my kind acts have no respect for my values, and if while doing those kind acts, what I say, what I do, and what I believe don't agree. You're being fake nice. And this is why it's so hard for a lot of people to break this chain and cycle of being overly nice. This is why how being nice has left you empty. Because when you think you're nice, but you're not honoring your values and you're not aligned, I'm telling you, you ain't being nice, you being fake. Oh my God. And you don't have to like that. That's what it is. So let's talk about how being overly nice creates self-abandonment. And I want to go through the 5 areas of healing to explain it. Right? Let's use the 5 areas of healing. What are they? Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. If you haven't written those down, put them in the corner of your paper. Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. I was going to do a diagram with this, but I'm not. I'm going to just walk through this because I've got to get done. Promise I get you guys out by 9 o'clock tonight. All right? Mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. Let's talk about how being overly nice creates self-abandonment in these things. Because I'm going to tell you this. The premise of me explaining this is using the word drain. D-R-A-I-N. Drain. Fake niceness will eventually drain you. No different, y'all, than us poking holes in this cup that represents your life that you keep trying to pour out of. When you are fake like nice, it's like putting water in here and being shocked that water comes out the side. Thank you, Tarita. I appreciate you. New to my page. I appreciate your support. Doc, I just feel so drained over the holiday. Some of y'all gonna be saying this by Sunday, Monday. Oh my God, Thanksgiving just drained me. Family members, friends, they just drained. I just felt so drained. You know why? Because you was pouring their foolishness into you without even being healed enough to be able to handle their foolishness. And you kept on going with the flow of your foolishness. Oh my God. And that's why many of you feel drained. Because the life that you could hold, you can't hold because of the holes that are in you. So let's talk about mental drain. You want to know what mental drain looks like? Let me give you a couple of characteristics. I'm going to give you characteristics of what mental drain looks like, emotional drain, spiritual drain, physical drain, and financial drain. I told y'all this is going to be a good live. Y'all thought I was playing. I came prepared. I worked hard. I earned every dime I made this week. I worked hard and still took care of that precious king and queen of mine. Let's talk about mental drain. You want to know some characteristics of mental drain? Record these. You might hear yourself. Overthinking before you respond. Overthinking before you respond. So instead of you just responding to what you know you ought to be responding to and in the way you should, that aligns with your values, you sit there and take a decision that should take seconds to make, and you look up and it's been 30 minutes and you've been going back and forth about the decision. That does nothing for you but mentally drain you. Oh my God. You're going back and forth for over something you know you ought to be doing. Is this thing going? What you going back and forth for over somebody you know you ought to be avoiding, but now you got the itch to see them because it's the holidays. Oh my God. I'll tell you why. Because it is the trap of the people pleaser and the overthinker. Oh yeah, it's been levels all night tonight. I ain't even told y'all to type levels yet. And here you are. I don't know if I should see. I don't know if I should see Johnny. Johnny cheated on me 3 times this year. Johnny cheated on me 3 times this year. But it is the holidays, and Johnny just want to just hang out and just go have a drink. And that decision to see Johnny does not align with your values and should be one you can make within 10 seconds. And you know what you overthinkers and people pleasers do? You go back and forth like the Aaliyah record over a decision that's easy. Fellas, you ain't no different. When Thursday want to see me, I mean, Thursday, she got horrible attitude. And she can't control her emotions, and she might even be for the streets. But man, at the holidays, man, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Cut it out. Just cut it out. Stop overthinking easy decisions. Stop overthinking easy decisions that align with your values. If you know that him or her don't align with your values and throws your life out of alignment every time you're around them, then why are you contemplating a decision that you should be able to make in a couple of seconds? I'll tell you why. Because that's what overthinking does. And overthinking creates this false niceness that you feel like you can't say no to meeting up because you don't want to let them down when they don't even align with your values, Dodo. Yes, I said Dodo. Let me give you another sign of mental drain. Y'all gonna be glad y'all tuned in tonight. Numbers creeping up a little bit. We might hit 500. which would be impressive for the night before Thanksgiving. But some of y'all need to be playing. Some of y'all sitting with your headphones on and you at the Domino's table because you scared to put me on speaker. I dare you put me on speaker. You ought to put me on speaker. Somebody in your family might get saved tonight. Oh my God. Let me give you another sign of mental drain. You ready? A lot of you do this. This is underrated. I really prepared this dinner for y'all tonight. Big time. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you. Y'all support the show. Let me give you a second sign of mental drain. Mentally rehearsing the yes you don't want to give. Mentally rehearsing the yes you don't want to give. If you have ever found yourself trying to describe how you're going to say yes to somebody about something that you want to say no to, I'm telling you, that is a sign that you are mentally drained. It's a whole lot of guilty people on this live. How am I gonna say this? I don't want to let him down. I don't want to let it down. How am I gonna say this? How I'm gonna break this to him? They're gonna be so up. They're gonna really. You mean tell me that ain't gonna mentally drain you? Do you mean to tell me that won't mentally drain you? You know why you're doing that? To try to spare the feelings of somebody whose behavior don't align with your values. When guess what? If their behavior aligned with your values, then you wouldn't have to go back and forth over an easy decision because their presence in your life would be in full alignment with who you are. Oh my God. So if y'all are rehearsing what you gonna say tomorrow to people that you don't want to let down because you feel deep down inside you got to please them, don't be shocked when you mentally drained all the time. That's how you get mentally drained. And you continue this cycle of drainage. Anytime you got to fix up a yes you don't even want to give. Tell you something for some of your to-do list in 2026, some of y'all need to work on just saying no. On your to-do list for 2026, how do I just say no? Well, I got an easy way. You ready? It's kind of tough, but let me give you do y'all want me to give y'all, okay, let's make a deal. Do y'all want me to give y'all an easy way to be able to just tell people no when you want to tell them yes? Would anybody like me to tell you and give you an easy way? I'd be happy only if y'all want it. Do y'all want me to give you an easy technique on how you can tell, hey, chef, so good to see you, sweetheart. You want me to give you an easy way that you can tell people no that you've been telling yes to? Y'all ready? Some of y'all are saying yes, sure, good. Yes, Doc, please. Okay. You want a method? Yes, please. Anybody on Instagram? Y'all want that? Here it is. No. Oh my God. No. I ain't doing it. I ain't coming. It don't concern me. It ain't I'm giving y'all a list of ways. If no ain't good enough, let me give you some deeper explanations. Okay? If no don't work, if you have not grown to the point where you can just say no, let me give you some other explanations. I ain't doing it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It ain't my business. Let somebody else do it. It ain't my problem. Start there. And you'll be shocked what that does to this mental drain that many of you feel. And I get that, Shar. She's right. People love to make you out to be the bad guy when you stand on your values and say no. Let me tell you something. Y'all want to know why my leg's so sore? I was talking to my accountant today. Great guy. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Just a great guy. Just really encouraged me today. Just man, I love when I work with people in business that really care about what I do and care about me as a person. And he really motivated me today. But he was talking to me. He was like, Zed, I love the way you dress. And all I had on was my leggings. What I got on, leggings and my hoochie daddy shorts with my shirt and turtleneck, because typically I'm working out. And he said, Doc, how's your fitness? I said, every day, Monday through Friday, 4:08, Saturday, 5, 6 o'clock at the latest. Work out 6 days a week. But y'all want to know why my legs really tired? Can I tell y'all why my legs really tired? It ain't got nothing to do with that Peloton right there. It ain't got nothing to do with them barbells that I do squats with. Y'all want to know why I'm so tired? Can I be honest with y'all? Can Doc have a moment for a second? I want to explain to you all why I'm so tired. And also explain why some of you may not be tired. That's why you keep people pleasing. You want to know why Doc's so tired? Because I've been standing on business. Oh my God. My legs worn out from standing on business. Doc knows what it's like to be cut off by people whose values didn't line with mine. And I told them, and they didn't like it. Standing on business. Oh my God. And if your legs ain't tired, you ain't standing on enough business. Oh my God. If your legs ain't tired, you ain't standing on enough business. That's why I'm tired. My legs are worn out. Legs worn out from standing on business. And that's what happens when you learn how to let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. And don't y'all get foolish around your family and friends and everybody this weekend by allowing people to show up in ways that are all kinds of rude, disrespectful, and don't align with their values. And you go along to get along to keep the peace. It not only makes you a pimp, it's going to make you tired. It's going to drain you. You got to stop putting people on pedestals and let right be right and let wrong be wrong. Oh my God. That's why Doc tired. Doc, why you sleep so hard at night? Because my legs be sore. It is that easy. And if you think it's not, it's because you're a people pleaser and overthinker. Let me just say it. I love y'all, but hear me in love. If you think what I just said was hard, let me say this to you from personal experience. I've been there. But I had to be honest with myself. You know why it was hard? It was hard because I didn't want to be honest about the fact that I was trying to please people. I didn't want to be honest about the fact that I didn't want to let nobody down. I didn't want to be honest about the fact that I didn't want to disappoint anybody. I didn't want to be honest about the fact that I did not want anybody to feel some kind of way towards me. I didn't want to be honest about the fact that I didn't want people to think I was mean or rude. Have I hit your street yet? If you feel like this is hard, I guarantee you can fill in the blank with one of those responses I just gave you. And when I threw all of that crap in the trash and realized that my values and my life alignment was more important than other people's comfort, all of a sudden it got easy. Oh my God. All of a sudden, what was so hard got real easy. So I respect where many of you are. Some of you are going to have to grow to get there. But let me tell you something. Let's throw away the excuse of this is hard. It's not as easy as you throw that excuse in the trash. Hey, some of you are going to try to sign up to be clients Friday. You getting a preview of what's coming. I'll give you a minute to make an excuse or two. But you ask any of my clients on this live tonight. We don't live in excuses. Excuses ain't going to change your life. Excuses ain't going to strengthen you to be able to stand on business. Excuses ain't going to pay your bills. Yes, they open Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. NISA. Again, let me repeat that. Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My books open up. Just check out the flyer. It'll be on my page. You just go to my website. If you don't even see the flyer, set a reminder on your phone. Go to my website at that time. Those links go off fast. I get it, Chef. Like, I had to go no contact with her children, her adult children. Listen, there are no exceptions to this. And it's different when you're dealing with kids, obviously, that are minors. But when we're talking about adults have to own their own behavior. And y'all got to cut this foolishness out. And giving grown, able-minded, able-bodied people a pass. Cut it out. Yeah. Excuses are the tools of the incompetent that build monuments of nothing. And those that usually use excuses usually amount to nothing. Good, Nisa. I hope to work with you. Does that make sense? So y'all, it ain't as hard as some of y'all making it. Doc's not being disrespectful. But unfortunately, I have to say that because some of you have not been told that, and you get a little sensitive to that statement. Y'all come up out of that. I'm telling you from personal experience, it ain't that hard when you kill the people pleasing, when you kill the overthinking, when you start putting your values first, you stop overthinking, you let your yes be a yes and your no be a no, and you be shocked at what you can accomplish. And you'll be shocked at how people respond to you. Because that's called, y'all, standing on business. Oh, my God. Oh, Doc gonna snore tonight. Let me tell you, my lives, my tour stops would be a whole lot more full. People that want it their way would be on the line if Doc didn't stand on business. Doc stands on business. And I snore at night. You know why? Because my legs be tired. Oh, my God. Here's the third sign of mental drain. And I got to go through emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. Y'all, I'm not going to finish this by 9. I don't know what I'm going to do. Because I didn't even give y'all some tools. So I might have to do a part 2. I'll leave up part 1 if you support the show. The way you support the show on screen. Yep, come on, let's get moving. Let me give you a third sign of mental drain. You ready? Strategizing ways to avoid disappointing people. God, I ain't going to beat the dead horse. If you ain't got the point now, I don't know what else to say. Strategizing ways to avoid disappointing people. Some of y'all go out of your way to disappoint people. I mean, you go out of your way to keep the dysfunction alive. Some of you go out of your way to keep the dysfunction alive. And I'm telling you, that ain't going to do nothing but drain you mentally. Let me tell you what it looks like. It's going to look like some of y'all walking in your houses tomorrow, where all your family members there, and you got that loud, ratchet uncle that always run his mouth. Ain't got no chill. He's rude, disrespectful, talk to people any kind of way. And you're going to walk in there and be like, all right, let me just get with, just get through this time with Uncle Cleon. I know Uncle Cleon going to be who he is, and I'm going to just let him do what he do. And you suck it up for 3 hours with Uncle Cleon while Cleon terrorizes you and everybody there for Thanksgiving and your date. That's called strategizing to avoid disappointing people. And when you do that, you know what you do to dysfunction? You keep it alive. This is how we keep dysfunction alive. You ain't strategizing ways to eliminate it. You strategizing ways to avoid disappointing people. And this is how we keep dysfunction alive. If you approaching or addressing dysfunction disappoint somebody, you've done your job. Oh my God. And some of y'all ain't doing your job because you running away from. You don't want people to be disappointed under no circumstance. And I'm telling you, you running away from this disappointment when you ought to be running to it. No, they don't read Sunshine Flower. They don't. They don't read. Do a lot of shouting and falling out, but they don't read. So that's what mental drain looks like. Let's talk about emotional drain. This is good too. You want to know how being overly nice and creating self-abandonment creates emotional drain? Let me give you 3 characteristics here. You'll carry things like guilt, resentment, and frustration. You can know you are emotionally drained by the guilt, resentment, and frustration you carry as a result of trying to be nice. How you gonna be nice and feel guilty at the same time? How are you gonna be nice and feel resentment at the same? Like, who does something nice for somebody and then feels mad after they did it? Who does something nice for people authentically? Who authentically does something nice for somebody and they feel bitter and frustrated? I tell you who. The person that's been fake. When you know you've been fake, yeah, you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be frustrated mainly with yourself. Mhm. Fake people. Fake people will find themselves feeling guilt, resentment, and frustration when they know they've been fake. They have not been their authentic, nice selves, and they've been doing this to get along with people. And I'm here to tell you this guilt, this resentment, this frustration, you have nobody to blame but who? That's it. Oh, I forgot about the salads. Of course, you got support. If you support or you're going to support, drop a salad in the chat area so we know you're supporting. Does this make sense? So, one sign of emotional drain is carrying guilt, resentment, frustration, those types of emotions. Here's the second sign: feeling invisible or unappreciated. Feeling invisible or unappreciated. Y'all, let me give y'all a hack that really freed me a few years ago. I realized I was being fake nice when, after all of my niceness, I still felt unappreciated. Felt like my niceness wasn't being honored. It was being seen, but it wasn't being honored. Well, if you're being authentically nice and genuinely nice, then the notion of feeling invisible or unappreciated would be null and void because your niceness would be coming from a pure place. But your niceness is not coming from a pure place if you're doing it in order to get a response from somebody. Oh my God. And that's why some of you feel emotionally drained because you being nice to keep the peace. You being nice to keep the peace ain't no appreciation in that. You being nice so people get along ain't no appreciation in that. You being nice to be seen and heard ain't no appreciation in that. And if you are getting appreciation, it ain't real. Oh my God. This is a really good live. Are y'all listening? Let me give you a third sign of emotional drain. And then we're gonna move to spiritual drain. I'm trying to hurry up and wrap this up. I hate it because I really need to stay on here till about 10 o'clock. But I'm gonna let y'all go and leave. I promise you. Y'all support the show so I can lead this up. Here's a third sign of emotional drain: emotional burnout from constantly overextending. If you feel like you are emotionally burned out because all you do is overextend, you are probably suffering from this creation of self-abandonment as a result of what you're calling niceness. Y'all, how can you enjoy the rewards of being nice when you have overextended? Let me give you an easy example. Can I give y'all an easy example of how overextending is anti-nice? You want an easy example of how overextending is anti-nice? Have you ever spent more money on something or somebody, specifically somebody? Have you ever spent more money on someone that you really could afford to spend? I'm talking those of you that have had your account in the negative. You had a $10,000 credit card limit and you went out here and bought a $15,000 car for somebody who don't even want to go to work, but you didn't want to disappoint them. So you overspent what you actually had to spend in order to satisfy. That's what overextending looks like. Now, did you do what you thought was noble? Yeah, you think it's noble. But how does spending $5,000 more than what your $10,000 credit limit is, how does spending $5,000 more than that, how does that not make you feel some kind of way? It will. Because there's no way you can overspend on your credit limit and not feel some kind of way about having to pay it back, but also not overextend when it comes to how you're treating people when they're not honoring your values. It's the same thing. Oh my God. It's the same thing. And this is because many of you think that when you overextend, it's going to squelch the behavior, it's going to shift and change the behavior of dysfunctional people. And I'm here to tell you, you can give a broken person the world, it ain't going to change their behavior. It ain't. You can give them the world and you can go in debt trying to do it. But ain't none of that's going to change their behavior. Let's talk about being spiritually drained. Y'all with me? This is making sense tonight? I got 14 minutes. I got to hurry up. Either that or I'll just do a part 2 next week. But I'll at least get through these drains. Yeah, because this is holiday season. So even if it's post, then you got enough tonight. You should be good over this weekend with all of these holiday challenges some of y'all gonna have. And some of us ain't gonna have no challenges. We have set boundaries and expectations. We ain't gonna have no challenges. And our legs are tired. Why? From standing on business. Oh my God. I mean, my legs are worn out. Like I've been doing crunches, been doing squats all day. Let's talk about being spiritually drained. What does it look like to be spiritually drained? Let me give you some signs. Here's a sign. Sign 1. Well, not sign number 1, like the number 1 sign. It's just, no particular order. Here's a sign of being spiritually drained. Your peace becomes disrupted. Your peace becomes disrupted. If you ain't got no peace, it's a good chance you are spiritually drained. Especially if you're doing all this nice stuff and you still ain't got. How are you being nice and you ain't got no peace? Like, this is stuff that. Does this stuff not make common sense? How can you be nice to a person, but then you still ain't got no peace after you nice to them? I'll tell you why. Because your niceness is fake. That's why. Your niceness is to keep the peace. Your niceness involves you not addressing stuff you ought to address. Your niceness involves you going along to get along. That's why you ain't got no peace. That's exactly why. Because there's no way you can explain to me how you are being, air quotes, nice, but you still ain't got no peace. It's because you ain't nice. You fake. Oh my God. So this is one of the most obvious signs of spiritual drain. You know you're spiritually drained when you just ain't got no peace of mind. Let me tell you something. Peace is greater than money. Some of y'all stressed out about the gifts you're gonna get and what people gonna do for you, all this stuff. And some of y'all all sad and depressed because it's this time of the year. And here it is, 2026, and another year without onesies. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Here you are, another year without onesies. You ain't in no one, you ain't taking no onesie pictures. You're not booed up nowhere. It's just gonna be you and the dog or the cat. And you feeling all kind of ways. And God bless you. And I hope you get what you want eventually. But let me tell you something. Even a person and a person's presence in your life doesn't always equate to peace. Nothing is more valuable in your life than peace. Nothing. Nothing is more valuable in your life, to your life, than peace. It's really that simple. So when your peace is being disrupted, you know you're off your kilter. Here's another sign of spiritual drainage. Your intuition becomes ignored. When you start ignoring your intuition, remember we talked about intuition a couple of lives back? I think the live is up. I can't remember which one it was, where I talked about your intuition can't be trusted if there is no mental, emotional, or spiritual alignment. I meant that. I meant it. I don't trust anybody's intuition who don't have mental, emotional, or spiritual alignment. It can't be trusted because you don't have agreement. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your spiritual foundation don't have agreement. I don't trust it. But let me tell you something. When you spiritually drain, your intuition will be talking to you. You'll be ignoring it. Thank you so much for your support, Ms. Smith. Appreciate you. I really want to leave this up. Thank you. Y'all support the show. You got literally 9 minutes. It's going to be off. Okay? Another sign of spiritual drainage. You ready? When your alignment breaks because you consistently override your values. If your alignment is breaking, thank you, Miss Tammany. Hope you're having a great time. When your alignment breaks because you consistently override your values, you're going to be spiritually drained. You're going to be spiritually drained. Why is alignment important? Because alignment is going to stop you from saying one thing, believing one thing, and doing something else. It's where the proverbial rubber meets the road. It's where we shift from just talking and shift from just believing and start doing. It's the difference between people who hear this stuff and people who hear this stuff and actually apply it to their lives. That's literally the difference between the real and the fake. You know why? I've said this before. Your energy is different, y'all. People can even sense that energy when they're in your presence, especially in real life. Your energy is different when what you say, what you do, and what you believe agree. You ain't just on here screaming church and writing these comments down, got a journal full of stuff, but then turn around and not doing none of this stuff at all. You ain't applying it. And I'm telling you, when you're not applying this stuff, you're going to eventually have some spiritual drainage. You got to apply it. Is this making sense? Let's talk about being physically drained. I got to hurry. 8:53. Let's talk about being physically drained. Some signs of physical drainage. These are easy. Fatigue. We know that. If you're always tired, you probably and as a result of you, if you're always tired, but you just think you're the nicest person in the world, you just give the the shirt off your back. You know, you one of them people. I just give the shirt off my back. I do anything for anybody. I want to help everybody. Da, da, da. But you physically tired all the time. It's probably a result of your fake niceness. You're probably not as nice as you think you are, authentically, allegedly. Oh my God. Or this physical tension in your body. Y'all do know you can feel in your body when you're not authentically aligned. Some of y'all don't believe that. Do this work long enough and your body will start telling you, you know what, you ain't, how you acting and what you saying and what you claim to believe ain't agreeing. And so that's why you got this little twitch right here in your shoulder. I'm serious. I know y'all don't believe your body talks to you like that. This is why many of you need to sign up for that 3-day course reset in the beginning of the year, because I'm going to talk to you about how to reset your nervous system. And a lot of this is alignment work. Your bodies would start feeling better if what you said, what you did, and what you believed all agree. But most of y'all saying one thing, most of y'all believing something else, and then most of y'all saying one thing, believing one thing, but you doing something completely different. And you can't be shocked when this shows up in your body. Your body, you do this work long enough, your body will tell you when you're off. So physical tension, sleep disturbances. Sleep disturbances. I've had people, I've worked with clients that have challenges with sleeping through the night, sleep apnea, all kinds of different things. And just creating some alignment in their life created a level of peace that caused them to be able to rest better. You'd be shocked. You would be shocked at what living in alignment, how much you snore when you live in alignment. Let me tell you something. I can't hear myself because I'm asleep, but Doc know he's slower. And that snoring is because when my eyes hit the pillow, I don't feel like I owe nobody nothing. Oh my God. I don't wear what other people demand on me as something I just got to perform, or else my life is just all the shit. No, I do the best that I can every day. And when you've done the best that you can and honestly done it, you let the chips fall where they may. Oh my God. I'll give you a fourth one of physical drain, and then we'll go financial drain real quick. Yo, we might go 5 minutes over, 9:05. All right. I'm not going further than that. Is that okay? I want to try to honor my word as best as possible. Here's a fifth one or a fourth one for physical drain. Let's talk about this heavy feeling you feel in your body when you're doing what you know you don't want to do. Y'all ever done something and you really didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway, and you felt a heaviness on you? Some of y'all think that's emotional. Some of y'all think that's mental. But it's really a combination of mental, emotional, and spiritual imbalance that is manifesting how? Physically. You know what a lot of people do? They ignore that drain. They ignore that heaviness that sits on them. That's telling them it ain't a good idea to go over there. It ain't a good idea to call them back. It ain't a good idea to be around them. It ain't a good idea to go in this house tomorrow and before you eat this turkey and allow people to just be rude and disrespectful and you not say nothing because this is your Auntie Pam and that's what she always do. Oh my God. And that heaviness will sit on your body because you're sitting on this live claiming you believe in healing or saying that you believe in healing, claiming that you believe in healing, but your actions, Oh my God. Your actions paint a different story. And that's a problem. Right? Let's talk about financial drain, and I'm done. Thank y'all for supporting the show. Thank you. You got 7 more minutes. Support the show. I want to leave this up because I'm going to have to do a part 2 next week, and I'm going to start after financial drain. Is this helpful? Was this live helpful? I wanted to get it all out tonight, but this is where I've really been in this space. I've really been in this space where my notes have been very thick and intensive. But I've been doing a lot of reading and studying and yeah, in a really good space content wise. Excited about some things that are going to roll out. Let's talk about the financial drain. And before I do that, let me give you something you might want to record. The promo code that'll be active tonight, midnight. It won't be active on the 3-day course. This is the only thing that it won't be active on. It will not be active on the 3-day course. Why, Doc? Can't you do that? Yeah, I can do a lot of stuff. I play 9 instruments. I can do a whole lot of stuff, but I'm not doing it. You're going to invest into that course. It is limited CD, right? I want you to record this promo code that will be active at midnight, and it will be active through Saturday night for 48 hours. The promo code is take 15 for 26. All capital letters. TAKE 15 FOR 26. All right, you all put it in the chat, put it in your notes so everybody sees it. Let's make sure we put it in there right. It's going to be active at midnight tonight. Take 15 for 26. Thank you, April. Thank you, Caitlin. Take 15 for 26. Record that promo code. You'll be able to get 15% off of everything on my site. Starting tonight at midnight, all the way through Saturday night. And take advantage of it. The work sold out yesterday. They are on back order, should be shipping out by the 4th week in or the 3rd week in December. You might want to jump on that. Got a feeling they're going to sell out again. All right. So take that, all capital letters, y'all. Take 15 for 26. I want you to have it in all caps. All right. So that we make sure that you have it. Okay. Take 15 for 26. Now, let's talk about this physical drain or financial drain real quick, and I'm going to let you guys go. All right. Thank y'all for giving me the extra 5 minutes. Has this been helpful? Y'all support the show if it has. I want to leave this up, especially for people. Yes, I'm doing a lot better today, Monet. Thank you for asking. I really want to leave this up for people that are traveling, that are with their families right now. They can't watch. They're afraid to watch. Oh, my God. Doc gonna say something crazy. It's life. But I really want to leave this up. Let's talk about financial drain. What are some ways we can know we are financially drained as a result of being overly nice or this fake nice through this creation of self-abandonment? Well, this should be obvious. Overgiving money, time, and resources. Let's start there. If you are overgiving money, time, and resources, I can almost guarantee you financially drained. If you are overgiving money, time, and resources as a result of trying to be nice, I can almost guarantee you financially drained. And I'm just telling you, anything you got to pay to keep or anything you got to pay to act nice is going to drain you. Anything or anyone you have to pay to keep or to behave will eventually drain you. It's going to drain you every time. Okay, so that's a sign of financial drain. Let me give you another financial drain sign. Being financially exploited because you don't want to seem rude. You know what this ties to? Being financially exploited because you don't want to seem rude. That's going to create some financial drain in the name of being overly nice. You know why? Because you struggle with that magic word. It's called no. When you don't stand on business, yeah, you're going to get financially exploited. You think people won't take advantage of you financially and take advantage of your money? I told somebody 2 weeks ago that one of the beauties of growing, let me just give y'all some relationship advice. I ain't saying it's impossible to build with somebody after you've already built for yourself. But one of the reasons why we need to start supporting people, growing and building with one another as young as you can. One of the reasons why we need to continue to push the narrative of relationships in young people and marriage, if that's what they desire, as young as you can. Because when you ain't got nothing and they ain't got nothing, and y'all really love each other and you build and grow it together, you're more likely to be able to sustain it and keep it together because you know the other person has been with you when you didn't have nothing. But I told somebody this 2 weeks ago. For all of us that's single, that's doing well, that's got all of this stuff established, let me tell you something. It's hard to know who's in your life and why they in it when they come in your life. I know this ain't gonna make sense to a lot of people. But when you get to a certain place where you are doing well, you are healed, and people just show up, a lot of times you don't know why they're there. And they can say whatever they want to say. But only time and circumstance will prove why they're there. And I'm gonna tell you how some of y'all know. Some of you, let me give you the dead giveaway. When people don't get their way and they disappear. When people don't get their way and disappear, you already know they weren't for you. And this is why building with somebody is the better way to be. Somebody that wants to build with you and y'all go through a little struggle together, it's the best. Now, again, you can be established, y'all, and you can still meet somebody and still grow and build with them. I'm not saying you can't. I'm talking about good, better, and best. Good. What's good? Being healed, having your stuff together, mean somebody who was also healed, got their stuff together. Y'all trying to work through some things and grow. That's good. What's better? Both of y'all not needing to grow. You're already fully established and you just seamlessly come together. What's best? Both of you getting together, you're on the same level, you both got the same struggles, but you both love each other, you believe each other, and you want to grow it together. You know why? Because you're going to be able to authentically know that you and that other person really are there for one another. That's why, y'all, it's one of many reasons why the dating situation is so hard. And you know this again when you pull the rug under from people who want to have their way. It's crazy how support, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, folks start praying for you, physically, their presence, financially. It's amazing how the support of people will diminish and dwindle, and their true colors will show when they're not getting out of the deal what they want. Some of y'all gonna look up, and the very people that was high-fiving y'all, you won't see any high fives because they're not getting from you what they want to get from you. And some of y'all get mad about it. I don't. I thank God for the confirmation. It is proof that what I sensed was probably right the entire time. Oh my God. And this is why being patient and taking your time has benefits. Because the old folks used to say, what don't come out in the wash comes out in the rinse. Last sign that I'll cover a financial drain, and then I'm done. Missing opportunities that would benefit your growth. One underrated sign of financial drain that is the result of being overly nice, and that overly niceness creating self-abandonment. One underrated sign of financial drain for that is when we find ourselves in a position where we're actually sacrificing opportunities that we could pursue that would help us in our growth as a result of pouring into others that really don't represent pure alignment with our lives. It's a startling thing to watch. And it has financial implications. It's one thing to make a sacrifice for somebody that's deserving, that is appreciative. One of the things I love about my kids tell me thank you all the time. They are so mannerable. My kids will come down here. They might be in their rooms doing homework, and dinner will be finished. I'll be in there wrapping up some work, and I'll tell them it's warmed up or whatever because it's always finished. They'll come down there and make their plates or whatever. If we're not eating at the table, they'll go back to their rooms. And when they get their plates and they walk by me, I don't even ask for this. I don't know where they got this from, why it started. They've been doing this since they were 4 or 5 years old. They will get their plates and walk by and say, "Thank you, Daddy." I'll say, "Thank you." They say, "Love you." I know my kids tell me they love me at least 3 to 4 times a day. And it ain't just, when they go to school, stuff like that. We do that when they, go to school, kiss and all that stuff. But they can just walk by. They're coming in the refrigerator and get something out of the refrigerator. Be like, "Daddy, what you doing?" "Nothing, I'm working on a report." "Oh, okay. All right, well, I'm going back upstairs. Love you." It's easy to do stuff for people like that. that are appreciative. And yes, Nisa, it makes you so grateful for having kind kids. But I'm talking about those of you that's doing all of this stuff for people where the values don't align. There ain't no alignment in your life between them and you. They don't respect your boundaries or all of this stuff. And then here you are sacrificing opportunities for them. I'm especially talking to you parents with grown kids. Grown, able-bodied kids who don't want to grind and put in the level of work and sacrifice and effort to try to establish themselves. And here you are going into debt to pay their bills because they don't want to work. Or you're going into debt to take care of their needs and their situations because they don't want to grind and try to help figure it out. I'm telling you right now, you think it's being noble and being a great parent. Here you are 50 and they 32. And I'm here to tell you, it is enabling dysfunction at its finest. Oh my God. Y'all cut it out. Cut it out so you don't live with that drain. Y'all, was this helpful tonight? Woo. I had fun. 9-10. I had fun. I appreciate you all taking the time to do it. Listen, we got up to tonight. I was looking at the numbers and just glancing. We got up to 400, like 400 viewers at one point. So kudos to you all for tuning in anyway. And that's a low night for us. Typically, we're in the 600 to 700 range here lately with all the shadow banning and all of that stuff. But listen, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, because I realize everybody does not, if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. Happy holidays to those of you that are not celebrating those things, and happy holidays and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of that stuff, and Hanukkah to those of you that are. Enjoy your holidays. Remember, again, real quick, I gave you the promo code. All right, I give you the promo code. It's going to go live tonight at midnight. Um, everything on my site, but the 3-day reset. You're going to be able to use that promo code. So this is a good time for you to go and get some bundles. If you don't have the 5 areas of healing, letting go. Thank you so much for your support. Who was that? Tanisha, I appreciate you. If you don't have letting go, the 5 areas of healing, learning to love the life you live, I think I have a handful of those left. 7 traits of a trailblazer. You have an opportunity to go ahead and get your bundle together. You're getting ready for next year and journaling next year. And obviously the ultimate thing, the 3-day course reset. Definitely check that out. You're going to love this course. It's going to be powerful. It's one of my more popular courses that I do every year. The seating is limited. It does not have unlimited seating like I have on many of the other courses, because I have to be mindful to keep this class size as small as I can. I do that for all of my courses because the sessions are much more intimate when I do that. So the 3-day course should be on your screen. Check that out. If you're not a subscriber, for those of you that want to become a part of Eagle Nation, particularly on Patreon, I'm running 17% off of annual memberships. I have a lot of annual members who have signed up to be members and have just paid an annual membership. And it is actually cheaper to do that. And so check out my link in my bio. You can do that as well. And again, all of the products, you can use that promo code except for the 3-day reset and the work, the journal. Those of you that are going to be journaling in 2026, this is a really good journal to start with. It is hard. It's not easy. I'm telling you now. So if you're looking for something easy, this is not the book for you. It is absolutely hard for real, but I think you will love it. It's already sold out once, and we're going there. The site, zebthethird.com, www.zebthethird.com is my site, website, and just go there and you will be able to see it, those deals starting, or be able to use that promo code starting at midnight tonight. All right. I appreciate you. Enjoy your families wherever you are. Enjoy the holidays with your family members. Y'all support the show so I can leave this up. I'll take a look at it in about another hour. All right. Or at about, let's say, another 30 minutes. All right. So you all support the show and definitely consider joining the subscription space if you haven't already. 26 is going to be a powerful year in that space. I'm excited. Peace and blessings. Have a safe holiday. Set your boundaries. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. And I will see you next week, subscribers. We should be, I don't think we're on Monday. I can't remember. I think my son has a game on Monday. I can't remember. We may be on Tuesday next week, and then we'll be back on Thursday for our regular general live. All right. Peace and blessings. Talk to you soon. Take care.